Started playing football. I moved down here from Virginia and went and watched a football practice actually at the local youth league at SHA, and I fell in love with football. Went out there and played for the Eagles my first year under Coach Mike Martinez, and I started out as tight end, and then a little bit through the season I started playing some more quarterback because that's what I really wanted to play all in the end, and that was one of the fun things I did like in youth league playing quarterback. I was playing football. I also was playing baseball, something I really excel in. I was playing baseball since I was 3 years old. It's just one of the sports I really started falling in love with. Me and my dad, we all used to go outside, play catch, and baseball was one of the sports that I loved from a young age. I had a lot of great experiences. One of them was going into middle school, making the jump from playing Pee Wee ball. Going into sixth grade, I was really nervous going into playing against older kids, but in the end, I was always one of the bigger kids, and I really excelled when I was in sixth grade. I was one of the slower kids on the team, but I always was one of the bigger, harder hitting kids on the team, which really helped me going into middle school. One of the biggest things in sixth grade was playing receiver and tight end most of the time, and having the big 1-2 punch with Jackson Hoyt, him throwing me the ball and me catching the passes. That was just a really big thing that we had in middle school. And then starting my seventh grade year, is having a pivotal role in the team as a seventh grader was a really big thing back then, and then just scoring 4 or 5 touchdowns that season. I had a lot of momentum going into my eighth grade year, and that was a lot of fun. Unfortunately, due to COVID, my eighth grade year was cut pretty short. We missed 2 games that year because we couldn't play due to the COVID restrictions. But in my eyes, it was a really big season, especially going into high school next year. I had a big season. Had about 7 or 8 touchdowns that year, a lot of receiving yards. I was the go-to guy, and we just had a really good season. Came up short. We lost 1 game to Powell, and that's how we lost the championship due to there not being any championship that year because of COVID. Another big accomplishment in my 8th grade year was actually in baseball because I'm a 2-sport athlete, doing well in both of them. And we won the Super 8 championship out in Orlando. It was me and my team from Ridge Manor, and one of the big memories I have from that is that I started the championship game. We were winning. My friend came in the 7th inning and closed it, and we won the whole thing. And that's how we had a big party after it. It was a great thing. It was a big achievement due to it being a 20-team tournament from teams all across the country, a big national tournament that many teams come to play in, some of the top teams in the state and the states around us. And it was just a big accomplishment due to a small team from Ridge Manor coming out on top and winning the championship. I had a lot of momentum going into freshman year, especially coming from a great school as Challenger and having a lot of success in football and baseball. But it was really a big adjustment going in, playing against older kids at Nature Crest Technical High School. Started off freshman on JV. Later through the year, I ended up on varsity, ended up starting a few games, had a really good year, and it was a great experience for my freshman year. Starting my sophomore year, I played a big pivotal role. I was a starting tight end going into that season. And then a few games into the season, I had a huge diving catch against Hernando. That really put my name out there. I had that huge diving catch. And then later on in that season, we made a run into the playoffs. I felt one of the biggest things that made a mark on me was Coach Johns being there on and off the field. And especially on the field, he coached us hard. But off the field, I felt like I would always go to him. I'll always be able to talk to him when I wasn't so sure of myself or something was happening.
Well, Talyn came over actually from Nature Coast. He was there. That's the first time I seen him during the JV game. He actually played quarterback against us. And he transferred over. I think he zoned for us. So, big boy, played tight end for us the year prior, was our backup quarterback, and then ended up playing when our quarterback went down.
I started my junior year. I actually transferred to a different school, Central Brooksville, right across the county. And, I had a great experience there. Started playing football under Coach P. I started as the tight end with my quarterback being Braden Joyner. And I had a really big season, had about 150 yards receiving, 100 yards rushing. And then Braden Joyner actually went down in one of our later games of the season, so I stepped in the quarterback role, having about 400 yards passing, about 5 touchdowns at the quarterback position. And that was a really good way to end my junior season.
Talyn, he's a 3-sport athlete. Plays football, plays baseball, plays basketball. Extremely hard worker. Throughout the summer, he came to our workouts 8 a.m. in the morning, left our workouts, went to baseball workouts, left there, went to basketball workouts. So he did it the entire summer. So for me, I mean, I want my guys to play more than one sport, and I think it benefits them not only getting different coaching, but also for injury-wise. I think they use different muscles. I think today's, unfortunately, there's a lot of specialization, and you only use one set of muscles or whatever, and I think that's why we see so many injuries nowadays.
Junior year, I decided to take a break from basketball. It was a big tough break for me because I did have a love for basketball, but I decided to do that to enhance my football and baseball skills. And in baseball season, I had a huge season. I batted around 200 on a new team. It wasn't my best season hitting, but with that new team, I had a lot of defensive highlights. I had big games against teams like Wiki and Hudson and Hernando. Had big games in those, and that was a really good season for me. We ended up cutting it short due to losing to Wiki Washi in the district game, but I did have a good game going 2 for 3 and making plenty of defensive plays that game.
Yeah, as a senior now, Talyn will take over the team, and he pretty much has taken over the team in the summer. Kids are following him. He'll lead our offense. He's learned our offense so well that we actually let him run some of his own stuff, call his own plays. He does some nice reads on the field. He understands the game completely, so he's got our offense down pretty good. And everybody knows, we like to throw the ball a bit, so it's nice to have that big quarterback. But he also can run with the ball, and he'll surprise you because he's pretty quick.
Now that it's my senior year, I'm expecting to have a big season, being the team captain of the football team. And this is really going to be a big year for our team, being a really young team, having some good young talent on this roster, but being one of the senior leaders. I expect to lead them and have us just ball out this season and do what we do around this county. My personal goals for my senior year, I expect to have a big season. I expect to have around 1,000 yards passing. The running game, I expect to have a really good running game this year, being a dual threat quarterback. I expect to have around 500 yards rushing and probably about 15 touchdowns this season.
Off the field, he's also still a leader. In the classroom, he's a leader. He's done a great job in the classroom. He's got his grade point up well. He is being recruited by a couple small colleges right now. I think some of that may change a little bit once we get going this season. But he's got his grades down where I believe he's in the on-the-job training program now, where he's really only in the school for 2 or 3 periods. Then he goes to a job, and then comes to practice. So, like I said, again, he's very dedicated. I think he'll be very successful in life because he's learned them skills and how to communicate. He might end up being a media guy someday because he likes that type of stuff.
One of the biggest role models in my life has always been my father, always trying to make sure I'm the best version of myself and always keep me on track even when I'm doing things wrong, which has happened plenty of times. But my dad has always kept me on track, and he's always made sure I'm getting through life and doing things the right way. And he's been a big part of my life, even all the way up into now. He's still on my butt, just trying to keep me in a straight line and keep me going. One of the unique things that some people might not know about me is that I'm a military brat. Grew up, my dad was in the Navy. We moved from place to place. Started in Norfolk, Virginia, where I was born. Then we moved to Baltimore, Maryland. Now we finally end up in Florida, where found home in Spring Hill. And that was one of the big things, especially moving school to school, not always having the same friends from place to place. But now I found my home, and this is where I'm at.
He is the leader of the team. And like I say, he does a great job of it. The kids look up to him, and, they know he's a hard worker, and that's what we need. If the one thing that's lacking at Central when I got there was hard work ethic, and I think we've kind of turned that around, and it's looking pretty good for us. So
I know I got a great future ahead of me, and can't wait to get this season rocking and rolling.